Yeah. Hey. 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 Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what the team doing, man. They ain't messing with the perp gang. It's our year, time to get this ring. Bring it home back to the skull gang. Skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang, skull gang. Skull all the way to the bowl, man. My team about to go get a ring. We don't care what the team doing, man. They ain't messing with the perp gang. It's our year, time to get this ring. Bring it home back to the skull gang. My team go harder than yours. They do. Our fans go harder than theirs. PurpleGANG go, we show our horns. 24/7 all year.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
Oh, Rap, you're muted.
Oh, am I?
There
muted?
you go.
Am I ready? I'm ready now. I'm ready.
You're ready now.
My bad. I don't know why I do that. This is the second week in a row. Like it's a delay or something. Like I'm like, shit, why the hell did they do that? Nah, man, what's up, man? How we doing, everybody, man? We got everybody gonna tap in tonight. We got a special guest, man. We got Mr. Phoenix Sproles himself, man. The boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Getting busy out there, man. We're going to definitely get into some stuff, man. We're going to talk about our top 5 wide receiver list going into the NFL this year, you know, or just top 5 period. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, just y'all going to make sure y'all participate with us, man. Drop some wide receivers down there. You know, I'm going to put the poll out. We're going to see who win. Now, listen, y'all did me dirty the past couple weeks now, chat. You know what I mean? Every time I put down who winning, y'all picking Yogi. I mean, I had to step my game up a little bit this week. You know what I mean? So we're going to see what happens. You know, I don't know about Phoenix. Phoenix might outdo both of us. We're going to see. You know what I mean? We just got to wait and see.
Yeah, we get competitive on here. And so far, you know, your boy's number one.
Yeah. So far, Yogi be doing his thing, man. But how you feeling tonight, Phoenix, man? How you feeling, man?
I'm good. Just enjoying this off day we got this weekend, and got my legs kicked up. I'm on the podcast right now, so it can't get much better.
There you go, man. We appreciate it, man, for sure, man. I just want to let you know I'm definitely grateful that you're on here, man. Just, you know, appreciate you really taking out the time tonight to kick it with me and your uncle, man. You know what I mean? Yogi, tell him about your nephew, man. Like this, who is this to you, man?
Hey, Minnesota native right here. Been playing football since a wee little youngin.
Yeah.
Product of Robbinsdale Cooper High School, NDSU transfer. Yeah. And now he's at JMU.
Yeah, man.
I had to sport the James Madison. Got that number 0.
Let's go.
Goals on the back. You know how we do. It's PurpleGANG in real life.
Let's go. That makes sense now, Yogi. Now it all is adding up when you say that you're going to cover James Madison. And I'm like, because I was wondering, like, all right, there's a lot of purple teams in college, and James Madison was specifically on your list. And I'm like, I wonder why he went for James. Now it's making sense. Let's go, man. Like, listen, we're going to get used to this horn. Phoenix going to get used to hearing that horn, man, in a good way, though. In a good way.
I love that one.
It's gonna be when he's making big catches and touchdowns for the Minnesota Vikings. You know what I'm saying? That's when he's gonna hear that. You feel me? But Quasi, yeah, man.
Do the right thing, Quasi. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing, man. For sure. Do the right thing. No talent when you see it. You hear me? Nah. This some stuff, man. First of all, Phoenix, man, I just want to we're gonna get right to it, right? I gotta ask you, man. Do you think you can dance better than Chris Brown? I just gotta ask you that, man. What's your dance skills, man? 1 to 10, man. How you feel?
Man, I feel like when I was younger, I was definitely I was right, like Chris right here. I was like right here.
You was right under him.
I was right under him, but like as I got older and I like played more football, body started, get tight. We ain't really flowing no more.
I know that's right, man. I gotta ask you, man, because I see a lot of the swag, man. You know what I mean? Like you be hitting the moves now. You got some moves. I'm like, okay.
I keep it real simple right now, but I still got a little something in the bag. All
right, we're gonna be ready, man. We're gonna be ready. I know there's gonna be times this season where you're gonna be able to show your skills, man. I'm celebrating for sure, man. We're gonna be ready to see something, man. I'm gonna be watching you now. I'm gonna be watching you for sure, man. But I want to get into something, man, really quick, man. We're gonna get into a couple questions, man, and I want to ask you, man, because one thing I really respect about you, right? I was doing some homework. I told you, I've been doing some homework on you, and one thing I respect about you, man, is the adversity you went through at a young age. Playing football and going through certain things, man, when it comes to your body getting injured and stuff like that, right? Like, I mean, just what kind of mental state did you have to put yourself in to overcome a lot of these situations that you went through and bouncing back and now being healthy and ready to go at this point, man?
Yeah, man. Honestly, it was kind of like a blessing in disguise. I ended up tearing my ACL when I was 14 or 15 years old, so at a really young age. And that kind of prepared me for like just life further on. Obviously, playing the game of football at a high level, there's going to be injuries here and there. You know, you never want them to happen, but you know, it's football. It's going to happen at some point, unfortunately. Ended up hurting my other knee the fall of 2020. And since I already injured my knee before and been through a big injury before that, I kind of knew how to go into it already. So I think I had an advantage over other people that probably got injured in college. Because it could be a very dark place. It's really you versus you at that point. You know, when I was younger, when I did my knee injury the first time, you know, I was at home with mom and dad, and you know, I was getting babied and taken care of, all that. When you're in college, you're not on your own because you have your support training staff, but like as a kind of you're more of an adult at that point. So no one's gonna tell you to go to rehab. No one's gonna tell you to wake up early in the morning and try to learn how to walk again. Like it's all on you and how fast you want to get back. So at a young age, I learned how to take care of my body. And then going into my college career, unfortunately got injured. Can't really do nothing about that, but I knew how to bounce back from it. And I knew how to get back to 100%. And so I've been good since then. So I ended up just getting a strong mind and just learning how to win those battles within myself, because it's really you versus you when you're in those type of situations.
Man, so for sure, man. Let's give the young man a shout out for that, man. You know what I mean? Everybody can't do that, man. Let's go, man.
With the COVID year being at 2020 and your injury happening, did that benefit you? Because with the players getting that year off or it not counting against their eligibility, so did it help with your timetable?
Yeah, sure did. So we played one game that fall of 2020, just one game against Central Arkansas. I was making a block. I got hit by my own player in the back of my leg that ended up messing up my knee. So I missed. So we only had that one game that fall, and then we were going to have a whole season in that spring. So I only missed that spring season that really technically didn't count because of COVID, because they gave everyone an extra year. So technically, I've been in college for 6 years, but I've only played 2018, 2019, 2021, and I played this season. I played 4 games this season of 2022. So I played 3 full years of college football and 4 games. So I've been in college for almost 6 years now, but I've only played 3 seasons and a couple games. So that gave me an extra year, 2 extra years really. So that COVID year, and then since I never redshirted, because I played right away as a true freshman out of high school, I never redshirted. So I redshirted this season, and that gave me this year right now. So this is my last year of eligibility. So like I said, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. I never wanted to be in college this long, but you know, sometimes you have a different path, and you just got to keep going with the flow. And I'm just blessed to have this opportunity to play one more season.
Hey, since you were counting on your fingers, how many of those were national championships? Let the people know that.
Oh.
There we go. 3-time national champion. That's what's up.
Get it, man. You know what I mean? My boy used to winning. Like that. I mean, it's always good when you're used to winning. You know what I mean? Like, you need winners on your team. I know you bring value to, you know, just your new school, you know, having that mentality of, you know, knowing how to win and knowing what it takes to win. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the Vikings, and just to pivot a little bit towards the Vikings, you know, that's why I always want to go after players that have been on Super Bowl teams and stuff like that. Because, I mean, not every one of them are going to be able to use the mentality and push it off on other players, but some of them can. And you got to be able to make that judgment and know which players can really, you know, ooze off just that winning mentality. And I'm sure you're going to do that to your new school now that you're playing for James Madison. You know what I mean? Yep. So they probably really appreciate you being there, knowing like, hey, I got the rings. I know what it's like, man. The grind you got to put in, you know, on top of all the adversity, like I asked you with the first question, stuff you've been through. You know what I mean? And you know, I feel like there's nothing that can hold you back. You know what I mean? Nothing. Like, you got it, man. God on your side for sure.
I appreciate it. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta ask you, man. I know your unc had a question about, but let me just ask you, man. When you were coming out of high school, you had 19 D1 offers, 19 off. We'll just say 19 letters, right?
Yep.
What was the process like picking North Dakota State? Like what?
Yeah.
I mean, why them out of all the other 18 schools that you had an opportunity to go play for?
Yep. So honestly, I'll get into the final answer, but like, so I had about, like you said, 19 offers, and I think I want to say 4 or 5 of them were the Ivy League schools, like the really, really smart schools. And I was like, man, I'm smart, but like I ain't that smart. So those are kind of off the list.
Right.
And then I had 2 FBS schools, so Northern Illinois, Wyoming. So those are the big FBS schools, which was always a dream, was to go FBS. And Wyoming wanted me to play safety, and then Northern Illinois wanted me to play receiver, which was fine either way. But so I had those 2 FBS offers, and everything else was FCS, which is still a good Division I football, but not kind of where I wanted to be. But I still had to keep that in consideration. So I was going between the FBS and the FCS, and I was doing the pros and cons. FBS, Northern. There's honestly nothing wrong with Northern Illinois. And then Wyoming wanted me to play safety. I knew in my heart I wanted to be a wide receiver. I knew what I could do at wide receiver, so I kind of came away from that one. So it was between Northern Illinois, and then my top FCS schools at the time were North Dakota State, and then the rivals at the time, which was South Dakota State, and then University of Northern Iowa. And I think I might have thrown in Illinois State in there as well. So, and those were all kind of Missouri Valley, which was, I believe, is the best conference in the FCS. That's the South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Illinois, Iowa, all those teams like that.
Okay.
So my dad went to University of Northern Iowa. He was a wrestler there. So that I had a lot of family that lives in Iowa. And that was one of my reasons why I had Iowa in like my top 4. University of Northern Iowa in my top 4. South Dakota State, they were just a good program that was used to winning. And then North Dakota State, I had a former teammate from Cooper High School that went there, Kayvon Hawkins. And then it was 3 hours away from home. So I knew my family could come to any game they wanted to. And I knew it would just be an easy transition. So, I thought about it. Actually, before that, the guys that got offered, so you guys might know who he is, Trey Lance.
Yes, sir.
He was the first person offered for our 2018 class. And then I was the second or third, I believe, that was offered in that class. So Trey gives me a call, and he already committed. He was the first to commit. He gave me a call, blah, blah, blah. You should come to North Dakota State. We can do something here. And I've met Trey probably twice. Me and Trey, I don't know if I ever told Trey this story, but at first, I didn't like Trey. We're best friends now, but I didn't like him at first because.
Hold up 1 second.
Hold on, you got to bring up the picture. Bring it up.
We might as well just jump into this right now.
Jump into it, man. Because I was gonna ask him about Trey, and then I'm like, he going, so let's just let him go. We getting into the spiciness. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
We'll go ahead and jump into it. All right. So you're Purple Gang all the way. You're in Vikings Nation. A lot of the fan base wants Trey Lance to be a Viking. All right.
Yeah.
Next picture.
Yeah.
We got him in the purple. Let's go, man. Look at them 2, man. Look at Sproles and Trey, man. Let's get it.
I was probably
Tell us, man.
I was probably 170 pounds right there. Oh my
God. So since you brought it up, how is he in the locker room?
The duo.
There we go. You may continue.
There you go, man. Tell us about Trey, man. Go ahead. Spill it out, man. Let's hear it.
So Trey gives me a call. You should come to NDSU, blah, blah, blah. Could start something here. Not even start something. We could continue something because NDSU already had a rich tradition of winning. That's what they were known for. And I was like, you know what? All right. All right. So I called the coach the next day. Coach, I'm committing. Boom. So committed to NDSU. I know it's where I wanted to be. So me and Trey's from Marshall, Minnesota. So that's about 2 hours from where I live in the cities. So me and Trey, we got the chemistry going right then and there. He came down and stayed with me for the weekend at my parents' house. We threw at my high school, I believe. And then from there on, it was like, okay, like we got to continue this. Like when we get to college, like this, it's me and you. Let's do it. And then that was when everything started. So we were roommates our freshman year, sophomore year, and then before he declared for the draft that third year. So he was my roommate for almost all 3 years, and my best friend. And that's when we just learned. We got through college together and just learned, pick things up off of each other. He's the one that really taught me the offense and really helped me get on the field as a true freshman. That dude was writing down plays. I want to say that summer we got there after we graduated high school. We went there that summer. This dude's already writing down plays on his whiteboard. And he's dragging me to learn it with him. I was just trying to chill. Like, I was still spinning about it. Like, I was trying to watch movies and play video games, like just take everything step by step. This dude wanted to learn everything right then and there. And then he dragged me with him. So for that, I'll always thank him for that. Helped me learn the offense quicker than I thought I was going to learn it, and really helped me get on the field, to be honest.
That's some good insight on Trey Lance, showing that, at a young age, him too is showing how the maturity of, and nothing against what you did, because most kids, once they're right out of high school and they go to college, the first thing they want to do is you maybe meet friends, meet women, whatever the case may be, play video games, chill. And for him to say, nah, man, we got to get to work. You know what I mean? Let's go look at these plays. Let's learn these plays, because it's going to pay off in the end, man. And that's what it did, especially for him at this moment right now. Your time's coming, but for him, being, and I heard something, man. I watched the interview with you. Damn, I want to give him a shout out, man. I think you knew him, man. Double Down. Shout out to Double Down, man. You know what I mean? I was watching that, and I heard you say something like 2019, you and him, there was a time during the season where you and him, almost wanted to quit every single day. What was the reason behind that? Like, what were you guys going through in that season that made you kind of feel like, I mean, obviously you guys aren't quitters, but you're just kind of in that place where it's like things aren't going your way, or what was going on during that time why y'all felt like that?
Yeah, I think that was
I might have the years wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Might have been. No, you're good. I think it was fall camp. Or just that first freshman year. Because it's just like, there's nothing wrong, like football wise. It was just that transition from high school to college. Like, I don't think it gets talked about enough. But it's a really hard transition, because you're going from being the guy at your high school to basically not a nobody, but a nobody at the collegiate level, which is fine. But like, it's just a hard thing to come by, because you think so highly of yourself, but you get humbled real quick, because one, you might not play right away, or just things might not go your way. But it was probably that fall camp. I want to say fall camp. Me and Trey, our freshman year, we're just like this is tough. Like, this is hard. Like, we're practicing like to perfection. Like, but granted, like that's what made NDSU, because we were so good, because we were dialed in on the details. Our coaches made sure that we knew what to do in every single scenario possible. But sometimes it was just so hard, like, to learn as a freshman, and knowing that I was going to play, I was just overwhelmed. And knowing that Trey knew he wasn't going to play, but he knew he was a big component to playing in the next year. He was behind Easton Stick, who was the most winningest quarterback in FCS history. So Trey knew he had a lot on his shoulders as well. And we would just be stressed out. Like we didn't think college was gonna be like this. Like, looking at the movies and TV shows, it looks like it's sweet. Like, it's college lifestyle, like you said, hanging out, meeting people, playing games on Saturdays. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. So
you really got to put in the work to get. So, and that's why, like, a lot of these guys that make it to the league, we got to give them, their flowers, because, that it doesn't come easy, especially when you're joining college, like you said, right out of high school, man. Like, you got to, you can't just go there and lollygag, man. I don't care what school you go to. You know what I mean? It don't matter what school or how big of a prospect you were, man. Like, in high school, you can be the number one prospect, man. You still have to put in the work to get to the next level. You know what I mean? You can't just lollygag around, man. So, hearing it from you, what it really like, it just sheds a lot of light, man, for anyone that's watching now that maybe is about to hit that transition and go to the next level. You just got to be laser focused, man. It's something you got to do, a mental game, man. You got to make it happen, man. But let's get into the Yogi, if you want. Let's get into number 5 of our wide receivers, and then every time we do a wide receiver, we'll drop another question on Phoenix. But we'll do number 5 first.
Hey, since Phoenix is the guest, we'll go him, you rap, and old timer last.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's get number 5 wide receiver, man. Let's see who we got. We're gonna see his taste, man. Let's see what we got.
Number 5, Stephon Diggs.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, he would be higher, but I like my other guys a little bit more, which we'll get into. But Stephon Diggs, I believe he doesn't get enough credit for what he's done in the league for the Vikings, for the Bills. That man can create separation on any defensive player that I've seen so far. His route running is like no other. His hands, his releases off the line, you can't really touch him. It doesn't matter. You're gonna have to grab him because he's gonna find a way to maneuver around whatever defender's in his way. And he just makes plays. He makes plays.
Yeah, man. Real and you know, it's crazy that you put Stephon Diggs number 5, man, because this I gotta ask you something, man. One thing I noticed about you, man, I watched some of your tapes and stuff like that, man. And one thing I really like about what you bring to the table, man, almost reminds me of Stephon Diggs, man, is your ability to track the ball over your shoulder, bro. What? So like, how did you become? Because that's a hard. People sleep on how hard that is to do when you only have a split second to really, you know, look back this way and see. You got to make a quick decision and have that hand-eye coordination, man. How did you become so good at? Was it something that you just naturally were born with, or did you play backyard football and you just practice it doing Randy Moss type drills and stuff and just got good at it, man?
Honestly, it's a little bit of a lot of mixture of all those things. Natural, God-given talent. And then baseball. I played baseball till my freshman or sophomore year of high school. I was a center field, so tracking was basically my job. So I want to say baseball set me up for those types of catches, because I think the catch you're probably referring to is probably the one at the Twin Stadium when Trey threw me that 65-yard pass to the Twin Stadium.
TD, man. I seen it.
Yep. And that ball was Trey threw that just when Trey launches it, it's hanging up there for a minute. And that one went straight over my head. I think I was looking directly directly.
Bruh, people don't realize how hard that is to do, man.
It's hard.
That is hard to do.
It's hard. It's a skill. It's really a skill, and it's one that we practice every day. I want to say every day through our receiver work at NDSU, our receiver work here at JMU. We're doing over the shoulder catches every single day. I learned how to juggle as well. And I think that played a big part, just that hand-eye coordination. But I want to say baseball, God-given talent, and then just working on it every day.
There you go, man. I can't wait to see some more of it, man. I know you're going to put some on display this season here too, man. Now, I mean, hey, so shout out to Stephon Diggs as Phoenix's number 5 wide receiver in the league, man. We give him a horn because we love Stephon Diggs, man. You know, even though he's a Madonna, but we like him. It's all good, man. You know y'all wide receivers, Phoenix. You know how y'all
hey. We're doing our thing.
You know how y'all wide receivers get every once in a while, man. It's all right,
though. It'd be like that. Definitely.
All right, my number 5, man, and my list is a little different because I'm going into who I believe is going to be, you know, number 5 throughout the season, man. And I got Garrett Wilson, man. And you actually mentioned him earlier about the training camp. I think this was backstage, but Garrett Wilson, man, this is why I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be really good. He played with Zach Wilson and he played with Mike White last season and kind of just never could get in that rhythm, but he still had such a productive season, man. And he really showed, you know, the skills he actually has, man. Again, over the shoulder catches, like this guy's actually really good, man. Garrett Wilson's really good at that. As far as the route running and stuff goes, man, to me, it seems clean. Now you're the expertise, Phoenix. So, you know, I mean, what I see good, you know what I mean? And maybe I'm wrong, but I just think him playing with Aaron Rodgers now this season, him having a guy like Aaron Rodgers, man, I can really see him taking his game to another level. You know what I mean? So I got high expectations for him, man. I feel good about Garrett Wilson, man. I think bro gonna be
solid. He's gonna be solid for sure. For sure. I heard he's got comparisons to people say he's like Devontae Adams, what I keep seeing on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I like him, man. I think he's definitely like by the end of next season, I think there's going to be a lot of talk about him. There's another young guy that's not on my list, so I'll talk about him, Chris Olave, because him and Chris Olave together, you know, them two right there, they surprised me, man, coming out of the draft and then being able to just be an actual impact to their football team right away, you know, and it made me look at wide receivers different too. Yeah. Coming out of college now, because it's like, yo, y'all, you know, you guys are coming in now and ready to go week 1. Like, you know, in the NFL for the most, because the skill level is getting so high. You got a lot of, and I'm sure you know, you got a lot of kids that either want to be wide receivers now, or they want to be the people that stop the wide receivers. You know what I mean? So you see all the 1v1 videos and hyping it up on TikTok and Instagram and everywhere. And it's the positions to be. You know what I mean? You either gonna be the one catching the ball, or you gonna be the guy stopping the guy from catching the ball. Like, pick which one you want to do. You know what I mean? So
pick your side.
I love it though, man. The competition's great, man, and these guys are just getting better and better every single year coming into the league now, to where years ago it was like, well, he's a rookie, he might need 2 or 3 years to acclimate to the league. Now it's like right away, man. You know what I mean? You come in there, boy, he turned into your number 2, number 1 wide receiver first year. You know what I mean? And we got a guy on our team that did it, so we know.
See, just like that.
Yeah, for real. Nobody probably expected Justin Jefferson to do what he did right away. You know what I mean? Not even our head coach. He didn't even start him the first 3 games.
Did not.
You know what I mean? He didn't even let him play. He had to pretty much like throw him in there randomly, and then they realized, like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, we got a savage right here, bro. Like, what's up? But yeah, we'll get into that, man. Go ahead, Yogi.
All right. So people might think he's a little low on my list, but the quarterback situation has a play in it. I have Davante Adams, because next year we don't know if Jimmy G's going to be playing or what their quarterback situation is. Not saying he's not a baller, but I don't think he's going to produce as well as he did because of the quarterback situation. So I might get some heat for that, but hey, I got to keep it real.
Hey, I like Davante. He's a savage. He's a savage. I don't know how you feel, Sproles, about Davante Adams, man.
I honestly don't have him in my list. I know he'd be up there, but just because I see how I
you look at other things. Yeah, you look at the position a little bit more, a little differently.
I like to see what how I play with their type of game. I feel like Davante's he's just different in a good way, but I feel like I'm not like him, so he's not in my top 5, but he's definitely a top 5 receiver, 100%.
And that's the good thing about these lists, man, is everybody's list can be different, because you judge, you know, all of it. I mean, most things are opinionated, shall I say. Now, some things are facts, like you just said. Davante Adams is a great receiver. Regardless of how we cut it, everybody knows that he's a good player. But you don't have to have him number 1, or you don't have to have him number 2 or 3. You can have him number 5 because you look at certain things and how you feel. It's all, you know, just how you feel about it, man. And like nobody would probably expect me to have Garrett Wilson on a top 5 wide receiver list. But hey, there's something about him that I like, that I look at, and I'm like, you know what, this guy seems like he's gonna be a beast this year, man. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm either right or wrong. Hey, who cares? You know what I mean? We having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? But so what is it now? Actually, let's hit Phoenix with another question real quick before we do number 4. So, and I know you, well, I ain't gonna say you got this guy on your list, but man, you said something, man. You said the Adam Thielen flush, man. Explain to the people what you mean by the Adam Thielen flush.
Yeah, so we actually at NDSU, this, I want to say, before we started the season, so right before fall camp, I believe, we had a lady come in. I can't remember her name. She was she played a role with something with the mental side of player performance. She did player performance for a couple of the Vikings players, and she worked with Adam Thielen. And she showed us this she showed us this presentation she had, and she said one of the exercise or one of the tools she gave Adam, or maybe Adam gave to her, I can't remember how it went, but it was just flushing mistakes. So when, especially at the receiver or any position, but at the receiver position, just because I play it, if you make a mistake, I know that thing can stick with you the whole game, and it can affect your whole game, the rest of the game, which is unfortunate. But we just put so much pride into what we do, and you drop a pass that you're probably not gonna forget it till the next game or the next time you catch a pass. So one of the things that Adam does, any type of mistake or any type of something that doesn't go his way, he just does a little flush, like flushing a toilet, which is flushing what just happened down the drain, and he's moving on from that. So I can't remember what happened. He either dropped a pass or something, maybe a fumble or something like that, but he just went to the sideline, flushed it, and he ended up making a big play right after because he forgot about the mistake, forgot about the error, and just kept pushing on. So that's one thing that I work on now, and I know I try to sprinkle that on to other people as well, because you can't dwell on those mistakes. Otherwise, it will affect your play. It's to just flush it, move on.
There you go, man. Hey, let's get it, man. I love that mentality, man. You got to have it. Hey, listen, Phoenix. Even this year, when you put one of them dudes on skates, because I know it's coming, man. You gonna put somebody on skates, flush that too. You know what I mean? Like, hey, cut him some slack. You feel me? Cut him some slack. Just go ahead and flush it, man. Don't hold it on him, man. You know what I mean? Don't hold it on him because it's coming, man. He don't know. Somebody, one of these defensive backs are sitting in their dorm room right now and don't even know that it's coming. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? You're going to have to give it to him, man. It just is what it is.
It is what
it is.
Part of
the business, man.
My job.
How many games are you guys playing?
We got 12 this year.
Okay, there's 12 defensive backs.
There you go.
Let
me ask you this. Phoenix, do y'all play any schools down here in South Carolina? You play any South Carolina schools this year? Or no?
We play Coastal Carolina, but they come to us this year.
Oh, damn. I was gonna say, man, because I definitely, man, I want to pull up on you. I'm gonna pull up on you.
We're gonna figure something out because it's gonna be a good
I'll figure something out, man. We definitely gonna link for sure. I'm gonna pull up on you, man. I want to support you, man, for sure. But hey, who you got for number 4, man? Go ahead, tell the people, man. Who you got?
Number 4, I got him. the man, the myth, the legend, Christian Watson.
Let's go.
Man, what he did last year was, I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised at the same time. I knew he was capable of. Man, we had long talks about what was to come when we were in college on that next level. And man, he makes me proud every day, every game. And that dude's gonna be special, man. What he can do, what he will do, I think is gonna shock a lot of people because the way how he's built is not normal. You're not supposed to be that fast at that size, that explosive, that athletic. And I think it's only gonna get better. Like that was his first year. That was his first year last year. Dude's having fun. Like after you get your first year out the way, man, you can breathe a little bit and you know what to do. And Alan Lazard is now with the Jets now, so that in my book technically makes him wide receiver 1. And I can't wait to see how they use him.
Hey, chat, just know, man, Phoenix knows no better, man. You know what I mean? He knows no better. Don't worry, he gets it from his own too, man. Y'all know when we did the cornerback list, you know what I mean? Here comes Yogi with the Jair Alexander being damn near number 2 on his list. You know, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. I understand. Yeah, but see, Phoenix.
He do the wee woo.
Phoenix has a good excuse though because he actually played with this guy in college, so we cut him some slack. You know what I mean? I understand. Hey, but on a real note though, man, like I'm with you though. You know what I mean? Seriously, I do like his game, and you're right, man. He does have he's pretty big dude, man. You know what I mean? But comparing him to Justin Jefferson, that was going on. Like I don't know if you saw that a couple months ago, man. I'm gonna just keep it real, man. I don't care how you feel, Phoenix. We're not gonna go there, man. We're not gonna go there, man. Let's not do that tonight, man.
I ain't gonna speak on it. I ain't gonna speak on it because I can go back and forth.
I know that's your boy. Your boy and all, but hey, listen, let's not do that, man. Let's not.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
All right. My number 4, man. I got Jamar Chase, man. You know what I mean? Like I love Jamar Chase. It's hard to figure out who came up with the gritty. I don't know, man. You know, that's one thing I'm still stuck in between. Was it him or was it our boy? I don't know, man. But, him and our boy, to me, man, them coming from LSU, man, being 2 of the top wide receivers in the league, man, it just shows that LSU breeds good wide receivers for one. And, Jamar Chase, man, just coming in and be able to make an impact right away. Again, like I said, right away, like his I know in preseason, he was dropping a lot of balls the first year, and everybody was like, oh, this guy isn't as good as he was supposed to be coming out of college. But then he bounced back really quickly, and he made the NFL pay, man. It's particularly the Kansas City Chiefs, man. And watching that quarterback Netflix series, I didn't even know that the Chiefs, like Patrick Mahomes, hasn't beaten Joe Burrow until this year, past year. Like, I didn't know Joe Burrow, and then we're 3-0 again. I was like, damn, like, and just to pivot a little bit about Patrick Mahomes, that's one thing else I like about Patrick was the dog in him when he was asked, who do you want to play, Buffalo or Cincinnati? And he was like, man, F that, bro. Give me the Bengals, bro. They keep beating us, bro. Like, we got to see them boys. You know what I mean? Like, a non-competitive type guy, like a beta male would have been like, I think I'd rather play the Bills because we can never beat the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I just love that fire. I love that type of fire in players, man, that are like, give me the challenge, man. I don't like the fact that they keep beating us, man. Jamar Chase like that too, man. I like Jamar Chase, man. And I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that he's going to probably put up another good season coming into this year. When you got a quarterback like Joe Burrow, man, shout out to them fellas, man. And he's competing with, again, before I let you go, Yogi, he has 2 other great wide receivers on his team that he's playing alongside, man. You know, Higgins and Boyd, man. Those guys aren't no damn slouches either, man. Like, they have maybe one of the best wide receiving cores in the NFL, in my opinion, bro. When you think about all 3, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jamal, man. Number 4, man.
All right, my number 4, Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Again,
cheetah.
Again, hey, if Tua stays healthy, he'll be higher, but them concussions ain't no joke. That's why I dropped him down a little bit on my list. But yeah, you got to account for him at all times.
Yeah,
he'll beat you over the top with speed, and his YAC is just ridiculous. So
yeah. Yakety yak 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 yakety yak. Don't come back. For sure, man. Yeah, man. Hey, that's him, man. I ain't gonna lie. I like Tyreek, man. How do you feel about Tyreek Hill, Phoenix? You like that type of wide receiver, a guy like him?
I do. Like Devontae Adams, I don't have him on my list just because of comparisons, but he's definitely another top 5, statistically a top 5 receiver in the NFL right now. There's no one that can get out of breaks as fast as he can right now. He's just too fast.
Until you get there, man. Until you get there.
Hey, I'm trying.
Until you get there.
Give me 2 claps in the mix now.
That man, Tyreek Hill, something different. He just doesn't stop. He's so quick. He's so quick twitch. His ability, like you said, is what the league. It's what as fans what we like watching is a yard to catch, and he'll make anyone miss, and he will turn a 5-yard, 6-yard hitch to a 94-yard touchdown. So he's definitely like that for sure.
Absolutely, man. So Phoenix, man, I seen that one of your places, like somebody asked you were on a radio show. And damn it, I should have wrote down the radio show too, man. Remind me. You were you did like a radio interview, I believe, and they asked you. They said, your bucket list, man, places you would want to go. And I felt like that was a good question, man. I got to ask you, man, did you ever get to make it yet, man, to Hawaii? Because I know you said Hawaii was a state you wanted to go to.
No. No. But that was Stephen Cuoco.
There we go. Shout out Stephen. Yep. Shout out to that fellow, man.
But
great interview too, by the way, Phoenix, man. You carried yourself very well on that interview, man. It was a great interview.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, just like you said, Hawaii was definitely on the bucket list. I know it's part of the United States, but it's still 6 hours away from the West Coast or whatever.
Yeah. So I was telling you backstage, that we were going to talk about this because I've been a lot of places and I actually lived in Hawaii. Now I was young. All right. I was young. I lived there from age 3 to age 6. All right. Mm-hmm. And, it's great, man. You would like it. I don't know. Obviously, that's a long time ago. I'm 34 years old now. I might not look it, but I'm 34. Yeah, so that was a long time ago. So I'm sure it's different, but I can just say I do remember things vaguely about it, and beautiful scenery and stuff like that. And man, hey, make it there. You know what I mean? Make it there. It's right there. It ain't that far, man. If that's something that you really truly want to do, man, make it happen because that's definitely. You can grab it, man. It's right there. You can reach it. Right now, you got other things on your plate and focus. But when you get some downtime, man, just grab a ticket and go stay at a room, for a couple of weekend or something, man.
Yeah, why not?
You know what I'm saying? Why not, man? Check it off your bucket list. You know what I mean? That's something. The reason why I tell you that, because that's something that you can check off your list fairly simple. You know what I'm saying? Fairly simple, man. And shit, no, me and Unc might pull up with you. Shit, we can all just go out there for a weekend, man.
Saturday Night Live in Hawaii.
Saturday Night Live in Hawaii, man. You know what I mean? Hey, we be doing all that, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be lit, man. But who we got number 3, Phoenix?
Oh, quick question. I'll ask this question after number 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
All right.
Who you got number 3, Phoenix?
Hold up. Boom.
Adam Thielen.
Let's go. Oh, you had to put him in the Carolina. Come on now. Don't do that.
That is a little bit messed up.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
Hey, that was just because, I got to sway the voters for the poll to come my way.
That's crazy. That's
wrong.
Nah, but see, Adam Thielen, man, I see a lot of my game in his game.
Okay.
And I like his story a lot. I've actually met him, and I wouldn't say like best friends, but we're definitely acquaintances. And he's definitely gave me a lot of insight and a lot of we've talked a couple of times. He's gave me a lot of good advice. And Adam, man, coming from Division II, $500 in scholarships. He's from Detroit Lake, Minnesota, small place out in Minnesota. Made the team off of rookie mini camp, which is not impossible, but a very hard thing to do. Very hard thing to do, and to stay on the team after that. Did special teams. Finally got his opportunity and made the most of it. I like his story. I just like the way he plays. He's always playing hard. He's gone through injuries and still continue to play. I know he was battling an ankle injury. I want to say it might have been this past season actually, and continue to come back and continue to play, even being banged up. And just the way how he might not be the fastest guy, but he still creates separation and he catches everything. That man has great hands. Another guy that's really good at tracking the ball. Just watching him is Adam Thielen. And I've grown to really appreciate his talent and then him as a person, even with our small conversations, but great dude. And then I'm sad that he left the Vikings because I obviously would love to hopefully play with him in the future and learn more from him. But I think he's going to have a great year at Carolina.
Man, that's a good thing that you said, man. Now that I think about it, man, that tracking the ball, man, that catch that he did in New Orleans, similar, like that catch that put us in position to win, man. Again, that's what we were talking about, man. The skill it takes to make a catch like that, man. Every wide receiver cannot do that, man. Now and we're talking about even some of the highest level wide receivers that you can think of, man. It's something about having that, being able to have that skill to track that ball like that, man. It definitely takes a special type wide receiver, man. And you're one of those guys, Phoenix, that I've seen, man. You make it happen. You do that. So that's something that you can bring to the table, man, to any team you go and play for. That coaches are going to appreciate, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure a lot of coaches feel the same way. Like what I'm saying is like every guy doesn't possess that, man. Every guy don't possess that. You got plenty of guys that can run a hell of a route, get separation. But man, that right there, and that right there is very important due to the fact, especially at the level of the NFL, because you can get separation, but a lot of times guys are right there on you. You know what I mean? Like,
right there.
So you got to be able to do stuff like that, man, to make your bread in this league, man. You know what I mean? You got to be able to do stuff like that, man.
100%.
Go ahead, Yogi, with your question you were going to ask him if you want. No, let me just do my number 3. We'll ask him after.
I'll do it after my number 3.
All right, my number 3, man. I got your boy Cooper Kupp, man. Hey, me and Phoenix got the white boys on the list.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the white boys in the building, man. Let's get it, man. You already know what time it is. Hey, for sure. Hey, look. Hey, for real, man. Hey, same thing. Kind of the same thing that Phoenix was saying about Adam Thielen. And y'all know how I feel about Adam Thielen. I got his jersey hanging up behind me. Like I said, Adam Thielen is always going to be one of my favorite Vikings to ever play. You know what I mean? To ever play, man. I love Adam Thielen just like you. I don't have him on my list due to the fact that I'm such a diehard Vikings fan that I just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Good. I just couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I love Adam Thielen, though. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? But and it's the thing though with Cooper Kupp, though. Same thing, not the fastest guy, but the route running and being able to create separation is out of this world, man. Like sometimes I watch Cooper Kupp, and I don't understand how he be so wide open. I'm like, yo, because I literally just told Phoenix that in the next level, you have to be able to make certain type catches because usually people are on top of you. Well, Cooper Kupp makes me look like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. You feel me? Like if you watch him, bro. Yeah. And I don't get it, man. And maybe you can give us a little more insight, Phoenix, on how is it like what is it that Cooper Kupp does so well from you watching him that he's able to just be open a lot. Like he seems like one of those wide receivers in the NFL that just when he catches the ball, he's always like a guy's always like 3 yards back or something. And it's just not normal sometimes, man. Like I don't understand. Like what is it that he does that you think makes him so good at getting separation?
I mean, he does a lot of things really well. I think one thing that he always sells is he sells like he's running full speed. He keeps the same arm. A lot of things that I've noticed and that I've been told is like you can be really deceptive as a wide receiver. You may not be running your fastest, but based on how your body looks, it looks like you could be running super fast. And say whoever's in front of you will back up because they think you're blazing, but really you're running 85%. It just looks like because your arms are moving at a really fast pace.
Right.
So I've seen guys that are able to change their demeanor, how they run. I think Cooper Kupp is really good at he'll sell vertical, every single route, he sounds like he's running a go ball, and he will shut it down. He will go left. He'll go right. He'll do whatever he wants, and that is what guys are fearing of him, because he's selling that go ball every time, and he's able to get in and out of his breaks quick enough to where he can just stop on a dime and just get right out of it. And then another thing he's really good at is attacking blind spots. He's really good at, say if he's on the outside and he's running a route, he's really good at attacking a blind spot of a corner, making them think he's going one way, and then he'll stick his foot in the ground and go the opposite way, and make them look really silly. And I also think the last thing is just like his ability. He's really good at getting closing cushion on defenders. A lot of guys, receivers will run and they'll make the move like 3 yards, 4 yards in front of the DB. Cooper will probably get almost to where he could probably touch the defender and get out of his break and just things like that. So he does all the things that as a receiver that you want to do well, he does consistently. And that's what makes him really good. Again, not in my list because it's just not, but he is definitely a top 5 wide receiver for sure.
Absolutely, man. Good insight on that, man. You know what I mean? This interview, and I'm calling it an interview, like, your uncle right there. But to me, I'm calling it an interview. You know what I mean? I'm meeting you for the first time, man. I'm enjoying this shit, man. And you definitely, this interview right here is fire, bro, already. Like, it's fire. You done dropped some jewels already, man. You know what I'm saying? And we still got 2 more spots to go, man. You dropping some jewels, man.
Hey, everybody, be sure to put hashtag Phoenix.
Oh yeah, damn, we slipping. Hashtag Phoenix in the chat, man, for a chance to win the ticket, man. The ticket to week 1, man. Hashtag Phoenix, man. Let's go, man.
Get right.
Yeah, because we doing the drawing. Me and Yogi doing the drawing August 5th. To win the ticket to come with us for week 1, man, a home opener in Minnesota, man. I'm gonna be in the building. We have Skull Fest, and we're giving away more tickets at Skull Fest as well, man. So y'all make sure I put hashtag Phoenix tonight for a chance to enter the drawing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I can't believe how we forget that. Yogi,
hey,
like, we slipped.
Hey, we was geeked that Phoenix was on.
I was too hyped, man. I'm fanboying over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here fanboying and shit. Hey, it's all good, man. Hashtag Phoenix, though. They'll start flooding in, man. Y'all flood the comments with hashtag Phoenix, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it, man. Let's get it, man. But go ahead, Yogi, with your number 3.
All right. They're going to work out their issues. Stephon Diggs. I think, man, that's all I got to say. Stephon Diggs. Yep, he's my number 3. That man gets so many targets, and what he does with those targets is just phenomenal. Yeah. And I think he's going to get even more targets next year. Him and Josh Allen are going to work out their issues, the team and everything, and everybody's going to be copacetic. But yeah, Stephon Diggs is my number 3.
Again, man, you know what I mean? Next time, Yogi, if you're going to put our players on here, make sure you put them on here with our jersey on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty pictures on Google that you could have picked of Stephon Diggs and the Vikings jersey, and also as well as Adam Thielen, man. Just for future reference, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but I love Stephon Diggs too, man. Again, we talked about it first when Phoenix had him at number 5, man. Stephon Diggs, obviously, he's a savage. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he, like, to me, man, when I think about you, Phoenix, I think a little Stephon, man. When I see some of the skills and how you play out there on that field, man, you give me a lot of vibes like that, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? Because that boy's a savage. You know what I'm saying?
I'll take that all day long.
For sure, man. You know what I mean? And so, shout out Stephon Diggs, man. Shout out Stephon Diggs.
All right. So my question is, how is the transition from being at a FCS school to going to FBS been going?
And real quick too, Phoenix, explain the difference to me a little bit, because like I'm kind of new into the college field, like I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going knee deep this year in college football. Yep. So kind of break down the difference too, as far as what FBS and FCS, what it kind of means.
Yeah, so FBS is your top team. So when you think of FBS, you're thinking of Georgia, LSU, Bama, University of Minnesota, those big time Power 5 teams. That's FBS. That's all of our high school football dreams, is to play at that level.
Okay.
And then you have FCS, which is FBS. FCS is right there underneath them. Like that, there's some teams that could be in both. Like it could go either way.
Do they play each other too? Like, do they kind of play?
So we'll schedule. So at my time at NDSU, we played one FBS team in my 5 years, and that was this fall. We played University of Arizona. We were supposed to play University of Oregon with Trey, but he ended up declaring for the draft, and COVID happened as well, so we couldn't obviously play that game. But it is a little bit harder to schedule those kind of games. But teams will try to get that in once every four years, something like that. But then FCS is like, it's more of like your like smaller areas. So like think about, so you could say like University of Iowa, the Hawkeyes, FBS, and then you have University of Northern Iowa, which is smaller students, maybe smaller funding and stuff like that. And that'd be FCS because of just the level of, I don't really know why they break them down like that, but I want to assume it's because of money or somehow. I know one of the things why NDSU wasn't FBS was because our stadium, like we hold, I think 18,000 in our Fargo Dome at NDSU. And I think a big part of why we couldn't go FBS was because we'd have to have more seats for, I believe, the other fan section that we would play. I don't know, but I think money has a big deal in it, and just if your university is capable of moving up to that level. So there's a whole lot of things that go into it, but FBS is definitely where you want to be as a at a high school. That's everyone's goal. So the transition was, for me, it was smooth at times. It was definitely harder at times, but I want to say the biggest thing that you notice right away is probably the talent. Not saying that the guys in the FCS are not talented, because that's not true whatsoever. Trey Lance, obviously, guys have gone number one round one or whatever it may be. So it could just be an opportunity thing, but there's definitely talent in both areas. But when I got here, everyone was bigger, everyone was stronger, everyone was faster, everyone's good. So every day in spring ball, coming in as a transfer with experience, you think like, oh yeah, like I know what I'm doing, like, this is easy to me, blah blah blah. And these little second year freshmen, or whatever you call them, redshirt freshmen, whatever it may be, those dudes are like that too. They just might not have all the playing experience, but those dudes are like that, and they're my size. Like they're not just like little freshmen. Like the talent is different. Even though JMU just became FBS too, this was their first year playing an FBS schedule. They already brought in guys already. So guys were definitely bigger, faster, stronger, and it made me better because I knew I had to come with my best every single day. Otherwise, I'm still competing for that starting spot, but I've done a good job at just being up there with reps because I've been doing what I need to do every single day, and those guys are doing what they need to do every single day as well. And we're pushing each other, we're making each other better. And honestly, I think it's exactly where I needed to be, because it's kind of like a humbling experience knowing that I thought I was like that at NDSU, and then I'm transferring to the schools, and I quickly learned that I wasn't. I knew I was good, but I knew I still had some things to work on in my year 6. I still had things to work on, so it's definitely just that level of talent is a little bit better at the FBS level.
Right. And that much respect to you for, acknowledging that, you know what I mean? Like just knowing like, hey, I thought I was Himothy, man, until I got to, this school, and now I'm seeing other Himothys around me, you know what I'm saying? And now we all got to be Himothys together, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? But you definitely, you gonna get there, man, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, from what I see, man, your skill level is on, and just everything you've been through, man, and being able to bounce back, man, hey, listen, God definitely has a plan for you, you know what I mean? For sure, man, you know what I mean? That's just what it is, you know what I mean? We ain't gonna get into nothing, no, that's just what it is, man. I know what's gonna happen for you. Who's my number? So what are we on? All right, so that was Sproles. What Sproles did what? Number 3? Were we on number 3 or 2?
We're on number 2.
It's my turn to do number 2.
Nope, Sproles.
Okay, all right, Phoenix, go ahead.
Who that? Yep.
Ooh wee. Yeah. This is surprising. Now, this is the first one that's surprising to me. I'm gonna keep it real.
There's so many things that go into this selection. Honestly, when he made, I didn't know much about OBJ until he made that big one-handed catch for the Giants. Right. And I forgot, I think, do you guys know what year that was? I don't know. I couldn't even
It was his rookie year. I know that, right?
Is that 20?
His rookie year. Yeah, man. I can't remember exactly. Somebody drop it in the comments, man. Drop it in the comments. Help us out. Help us out, Wrench Gang, man. Help us out, man. What year was OBJ? What was that catch, man? Was it a rookie year? 2020? Was it? You said 2014? He's probably been in the league about that long.
2014, 16? Something. Yeah. I don't know, but one of those years. That's when he had the mohawk with the blonde, obviously.
Yeah.
I dyed my hair. I still have a mohawk to this day. I ain't got a cut in a couple of weeks, so
right.
bear with me. But I still have a mohawk. I dyed my hair blonde. And that was like just everything he did, like his swag was just everything was so contagious. Like he was dancing on the field. That's where I get that from too. So everything I do relates to this man right here, so I blame him.
Okay.
I blame him for all the swag, but his dancing, his personality, the hair, the look, and then honestly, the way he played, like he did all that stuff, but he could play ball now. Like he was dancing, being whatever, but that dude could play. It was nothing to play with. Set records, I think his first or second one of those years, and then what he battled, his 2 ACL injuries, I think that really inspired me. Like honestly, he made enough money, he could quit. He could be cool, done off football, go home, take care of his baby or whatever. But he came back for a second time after a second ACL, which is definitely a tough thing to do. Been there. And I think with this team that he's with right now, I think we're going to see a prime OBJ again with Lamar and Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman as well. So I'm excited for that, for him in that receiver group.
So is it safe to say that OBJ is your idol as far as a wide receiver? Like that's who you really look up to and kind of want to mold your game around and stuff like that?
100%.
Okay, that's a good. We can't be mad at that, man. OBJ, that boy, he's something serious. Serious. For sure. He definitely can play wide receiver. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That boy definitely can play the position. I mean, so shout out OBJ, man. I ain't got no issues with OBJ. I was surprised though, only because I think it's because like I see like your list is more of who you're liking right now to where mine, like I was telling you earlier, mine's more like who I think's gonna do good this season. Right. So that's probably why I was like, hold on, OBJ. I get what you mean though, man. Shout out OBJ, man. I've always been a fan of OBJ. I like OBJ for sure, man. That boy got swagger, like you said. Yeah. So now it makes sense when you say the dancing and stuff. Okay, I see. I'm starting to see it, man. Listen, Phoenix, you might have to go back with the old school, man. Go ahead, put some blonde in that hair before the season start, man. Hey, listen.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I had that in 2019. That was my breakout year in 2019. So honestly,
and you know what's crazy is shout out to SK in the building too, man. You know, we got a guy Tay Gowman on our team. He's a defensive back, and he had a Spaces on Twitter last week, and you know, he was saying something about like, you know, man, this season right here, man, I'm going back to my freshman year where I didn't wear no sleeves, I ain't wear no visor, no nothing, man. I'm just going plain Jane out there and bringing back that, you know, sometimes it just gives you that kind of, you know, go back to your roots, man, and really, you know, like for example, if you say you really looked up to him and he might bring something out you, man, go back to your roots and take it back old school, man, and put it on him. You know what I'm saying?
I might have to, man.
Y'all heard it here first. Phoenix is going back blonde.
Let's go. Hey, that shit look fire. I had blonde dreads too at one point when I had hair. You know what I mean? In my younger days, I dyed my shit blonde too. You know what I'm saying? We all did it.
What was it? Wiz Khalifa patch back in the day?
Yeah, man. You know, hey, we all did it. You know what I mean?
I ain't try the Wiz Khalifa patch.
Nah, we ain't gonna Wiz Khalifa that shit. No, I mean, but it's just like again, going back to the quarterback series where, you know, the Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean? Just the influence he had where all the kids wanted to get the Patrick Mahomes haircut now, man. And he was in there like, I think I need to cut my hair, man. Like, I'm a father now. I'm a father. Like, I can't be looking like a kid no more, man. I think I might have to cut them. I'm like, man, hell no, man. Keep it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why not?
Until you start playing bad or something, then you got to, you know, switch it up a little bit, man. Some little things like that sometimes give you a fire.
No, it is. I'm superstitious like that too. Like I have to have these bands. If I don't have these bands on, I can't play. So there's a lot of things.
There you go.
There's a lot of things that go into it.
There you go, man. And chat, man, I just want to say, y'all know usually we pay full attention to the chat, but y'all know how we operate, man. When we have company on the channel, you know, we see y'all over there. We see y'all having conversations, but we're not going to stop every 5 minutes and pull up comments and talk about it. But you know, y'all know we love y'all, man. Y'all know we love y'all. And we definitely appreciate everybody that's tapping in tonight. And we just trying to, we talking to our boy Phoenix tonight, man. It's his night tonight. You feel me? We love all y'all in the chat, man. We couldn't do this without y'all for sure. You know what I'm saying? But let me do my number two. My number two, I got Devontae Adams, man. The guy that Yogi you know what I mean, had at what? Or was it Yogi that? Yeah, Yogi had him at what, number 5?
Yeah.
Had him at number 5. Like,
Yup.
no, listen, I gotta disagree. I think
situation.
Devontae Adams could be one of the best wide receivers playing with goddamn Mike White, Zach Wilson. I don't give a damn. I just think he's good like that, man. I like Devontae. You know what I mean? Devontae definitely, polished his game, man. His game's polished. You know what I mean? And I just think this year with Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot of people sleep on Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't hate Jimmy Garoppolo, bro. Like, I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a good enough quarterback to where he can definitely make a wide receiver 1 have a great season. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can definitely. Now, I mean, some people might disagree on, he doesn't throw the ball downfield enough. He doesn't have accuracy downfield. It's a lot of short dink and dunks. But listen, Devontae's good at that, though. What we talk about? Yakety yak, don't come back. That's all you can throw the ball to Adams 5 yards, and guess what? He will turn 5 into 55 real quick. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it works out for Devontae, man. That's just how I feel about it, man. So shout out Devontae Adams, man. Number 2 on my list for the night.
All right. My number 2 is Jamar Chase.
Jamar. So we do got some of the same. We do got some of the same guys on our list.
Yeah. Purple Gang, LSU.
I like that.
Purple Gang. Yeah. Because we all know who I'm putting number 1. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. It ain't no secret. It ain't no secret, man. We all, you know what I mean? I mean, it's there. It's there. We there.
He's for sure my number 2. So
we already there. We know what time it is. Man. You know what I mean? And shout out, man. I want to give a special shout out to Northfields really quick, man, in the chat, and because he actually paid for a backdrop. Northfields, I see you in the building, man. I know you said that it's expected to ship, and I'll get it. Between July 28th, man. Hey, and I just want to thank you, man. Thank the wife, man, for doing that for me. I didn't ask. He just hit me up and was like, man, I want to get you a backdrop with triple P on the back of that, or double P, the logo. He wants to get it so we can hang it up in the back, man. So shout out to you, man. Big thanks to you, man. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting the channel since I've started it. Yogi, man, y'all supporting Yogi, Purple and Skull Media, SK, Day, everybody, man. You know what I mean? I just want to give y'all flowers, man, and being able to sit with us while we're interviewing players. Like last week, y'all know I interviewed Najee Thompson. That's on the Vikings. Appreciate everybody that tapped into that, man. It's starting to get really fun getting actual players that are putting in the work and coming on and joining us, man, and having these conversations, man. It means a lot, not only for us, but, I know a lot of these guys like you, Phoenix, you can probably agree that y'all love getting on and talking. I mean, obviously you can't give up too many jewels and say certain things because you do have a season to still play. And you do have something to, you have a loyalty to uphold as far as to your teammates and stuff, but you can at least give us some kind of insight on little things that, and as us content creators, man, we love it, man. Yeah, we take it and run. We make a story out of it real quick. We make a Phoenix said this last night on it. You know what I mean? We make a story out of it real quick, man, but it's all love, man.
Go have to dig up some pictures with him with blonde hair now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, for real. And tonight, what I take away for the most part, man, tonight so far, your story is amazing. You know what I mean? And it just gives me a new outlook on life too. Even being 34 years old, a little bit older than you, even as I'm getting older, I'm one of those guys where I always try to learn every day, man, when it comes to life experiences, whether it's playing sports or just waking up in the morning, going to work. You know what I mean? There's things that you can learn from talking to people like you, man, that have a high intelligence level. And you know what I mean? You've definitely been dropping some jewels, but I like the Trey Lance talk because I was one of those guys who was pushing for the boy, you know what I mean? And I'm like, shit, I'm pushing for Trey. And now you dropped some jewels tonight that really gave me a look at, okay, he was like that. Like he wanted to get to work. And, because a lot of people talk about him and think that he isn't that good. He doesn't put in work and shit, but you proved us different tonight. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, so who we got? We got your number 1, Phoenix, man. Let's see it, man. Who's the end all be all, man? Let's go, man. Explain why.
Madden overall 99. I think everyone knows. I think everyone is finally waking up. He's been so consistent in a short amount of time. What he did at LSU, like you said earlier, carried over to the league, which sometimes is not carry over from your college days to the professional days. It's like he really didn't skip a beat, to be honest. And I just love the way he played, like kind of like OBJ. He has his own swag, his own playing style. Like he's just a mixture. Like you wouldn't think, he's not a big receiver, but he plays big. Like I've seen him make finish. Actually, on the quarterback show on Netflix, there was a clip of Kirk throwing him the ball, and he had yak and ran through, and he could have ran out of bounds, but he actually scored the touchdown and ran over a guy or whatever it was, and that showed his grit. Like he plays hard and he wants to win. He fears not, from what I can tell, he fears nobody, no defender. Not afraid to go over the top. The SB's catch of the year, something, or play of the year, something like that. The Bills one-handed catch. Dude's a walking highlight. Is another guy I want to meet and definitely want to pick his brain about. So I'm hoping one day I'll definitely have the opportunity to link up with him and just learn from him as well. But man, he does it all: routes, catching in traffic, over the shoulder catches, strong hands. Man, dude does it all, and he's durable. Doesn't really get injured. Knock on wood. Doesn't really get injured. Doesn't get injured. Takes care of his body. Does the right thing off the field. So from what I can tell and what I've heard, he's a role model and a good player.
There you go.
Hey, we're putting it out in the universe right now. After the draft, once you get picked, JJ's gonna be hitting you up on the
phone. I'll be down, man. I think that'll be a crazy Minnesota story. And we get that to happen. So I'm sure something will happen.
So just keep him up, Yogi, because he's all of our number one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I know you ain't gonna sit here and put like somebody in a damn Raiders uniform or something, Randy Moss in a Raiders uniform or something. I know you ain't gonna pull that move tonight. So we just gonna keep him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because y'all know that's definitely my number one too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep it real. That's my number one for all the reasons that Phoenix spilled here, and part of it, he's a Viking, bro. And it's a blessing that he is a Viking. But I also feel like, I've said this before, even if he wasn't a Viking, I feel like you have to give the man his flowers. Like if he played for any other team, man, you know what I mean, you would have to have him in your top at least 3 in my book. You know what I mean? And Madden knows it. Madden got him 99. I think he's the only one that's 99, isn't he?
Only receiver.
He's the only receiver that's 99 rating in Madden, man. There's a reason why, man. That boy is different. Like for real, that boy is different, bruh. Like, and the consistency is crazy, man. Like what he does, and you know, there's games that, and we'll talk about a little of the things I don't like. Is there is games where he goes missing, and I could just imagine if he was able to even get 80 yards during those games, because he has like 2 or 3, maybe 1, 2 or 3 games per season so far where he'll only have 30 yards, 40 yards. And it seemed to always be going up against more of a top level cornerback, whether it's Trayvon Diggs, Jair Alexander. And I just always think like, damn, even if he was able to get 80 yards that game or 60 yards, what his numbers would look like, because those make a big difference. You know what I mean? And but that's neither here nor there though, because at the end of it all, he always comes out on top and has a great, amazing season that you look back on and say, dang, bro, he does it every single year, man. And I don't see anything changing this year. I actually see this year being crazy, being that they actually have the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row now. Kevin O'Connell, to me, is a leader of men, a genius on the offensive side of the ball, man. I'm excited to see, man. I think it's going to be an explosive year for the boy, man. Shout out our boy JJ, man. Number one for me, too.
Number one.
Go ahead, spill your guts out, Yogi, about Justin Jefferson, man.
Yeah, it's all been said. That's all. We could waste that. We all know JJ's number one, so we could spend the rest of the time talking with Phoenix. So it doesn't even need to be said.
There we go, man. And I know Yogi got his other show tonight that y'all make sure y'all tap in with. We might this one here running a little longer because we got our boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That show's coming on at 9:00. I pushed it back just so we can have that extra time.
There you go, man. So we got a little bit of extra time to talk to our
boy.
Special
privileges.
I love it.
There we go, man. We had to switch things up, man. We had to switch things up tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me think about it, because there was. So let me ask you this, Phoenix. What made you pick, James Madden? Because I'm sure. So you entered the transfer portal, right? Yeah. Like, how does that process work? Like you play the season,
Mhm.
your season at NDSU, and then you say, you know what, I think I'm gonna look at some other options. Like, what was that process like? What made you pick that school in particular as well?
Yeah, so I was four or five games into the season, and I just had like just a sit down over the. Obviously, I wasn't with my parents because they were in a different state at the time, back home in Minnesota. Um, we just had a conversation because it was just like, it's not really what I'm looking for my last year. What I think I'm capable of. I was battling a hamstring injury as well, so I was fighting that. Wasn't 100%, but still continuing to play and such. And I was like, you know what? Like, I can't go out like this my last year. Like, there's too much left in the tank. I feel like I have so much to prove. But I just don't think I can do that where I'm at in that moment right then and there. So had to talk to my parents. Probably bounced around for probably 2 weeks with the decision, but I finally made it to redshirt the rest of the season because I said it before, but I never redshirted in my career. So you get one time where you can redshirt, and usually you redshirt as a freshman.
Right.
But I had to play my freshman year, so I saved my red. So not even knowing I was going to use my red shirt. Obviously, my whole career, I thought I was going to do my 4 or 5 years at NDSU and be on my way. So it's kind of crazy how things all work out, but I ended up using my red shirt then as a senior. So that guaranteed me another year of eligibility. And I was like, I think it's time to explore different options and, see what I could get out of this for myself. So I left week 5, went into the compliance office, told them I was going to hit the transfer portal. They got all the paperwork, all the stuff I had to sign, blah, blah, blah. Officially put me into the NCAA transfer portal. It's kind of like once these coaches see the transfer portal, like your name will pop up under that position. So coaches can look for wide receivers, boom, and it'll be a whole list of wide receivers and that are in the transfer portal and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and once that happens, they can reach out to, once you have the confirmation from the NCAA and your school and whatever, coaches can reach out to you and stuff like that. So once that happened, I can't even count how many schools reached out, but it was definitely a list. But it was mostly the FCS. So where I was technically playing at before, so NDSU was FCS. So I had most of the FCS already again, which was cool. But I was looking for that next level, which was the FBS, of course. And I had a lot of interest, from a lot of schools. Like none of them pulled the trigger, but just to name off the top of my head, which the schools that just messaged, like we talked on Twitter for a little bit, some crazy names: Auburn, University of Kansas, Wisconsin.
Not Wisconsin.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I can lie. You would have looked fire in a Kansas jersey, though. University of the Jayhawks. Well, you would have looked fire. My wife, reason I say that because my wife and her family, they're all from Topeka, Kansas. They're all big damn Jayhawk fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that would have hit a little different right there, boy.
That would have been a crazy opportunity. But they just kind of show a little bit of interest.
Right.
Just ask me the basic questions. Why'd you hit the portal?
Right.
Blah. We like your film. We'll talk with our coach. Blah blah. Never really kind of came back to me, which is fine. And then I got a notification that a coach from JMU, so James Madison University, followed me on Twitter, and I was like, okay. And I was familiar with James Madison University. Shout out JMU.
Oh, shout out JMU, man.
Yep. And I played them twice. I knew what they were about. I knew what kind of offense they had, and I know they had receivers that had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. And I'm like, okay, that's definitely like already. They didn't even offer me yet, but I'm like, okay, if they're talking serious, that's definitely an option. It has to be because I just know what they do, and their offense is crazy explosive. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put that in the back of my head. I'm not gonna, get over hyped about it, whatever. And we started talking some more for the next following weeks. So I came down to 3 schools before the end of December, and it was Southeastern Louisiana, they're known for their offense. Samford and Southeastern Louisiana were FCS schools, and then JMU was only FBS schools. So those were my top 3 at the time. Took a visit to Southeastern Louisiana, loved it. I was down in the bayou, whatever you call it.
Down in the boot. My boy down in the boot, man.
Yep.
Let's get it.
So my little brother was committed to LSU at the time, so I'm like, okay. I could be an hour, 30, 45 minutes to an hour away from my brother. Like this could be it right here.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with Southeastern Louisiana. If I didn't choose JMU, I would have went there. But I took my visit to Southeastern Louisiana, loved it. And I took my visit to JMU the following weekend and loved it a little bit more. And they were the FBS level, so that was always my dream. And I knew I was capable of playing at that level. Took a visit. The stadium was what got me first. It's just a beautiful stadium in Virginia. You got the hills in the background, and just like kind of the fan base of JMU. Like they love their team. They love what they got going, and just being a part of that new transition to an FBS level. It was they just finished with the 8-4 or 8-3 season. They technically won the Sun Belt East, which is the east side of the Sun Belt Conference, as a first-year team in the FBS. So they did what they were supposed to do. They were ranked top 25 as well during the season. So they had a lot of hype, a lot of good things going. I was like, you know what? I want to be a part of it. I want to bring in my veteran leadership. And that's what the coaches for JMU were saying. They knew who I was. I played them 19 championship, and I played them in 2021 semifinal game. They knew what I was capable of. They knew my leadership. They knew what I would bring to that team. And the head coach called, offered me. I committed, I want to say maybe 2 hours into my visit when I went there, committed to the head coach in his office. And I think it was the best decision for me, and I'm happy with that decision.
Now, do you feel any pressure going into this season with knowing that, you are the veteran? I'm sure you have a lot of younger guys on the team that this may be their first year, their second year playing at the position, specifically your position, the wide receiver room. Do you feel any pressure on your shoulders as far as you having to not only, focus on yourself and that you're going to be at the next level after this season, but also having to focus on helping out maybe the guys under you and getting them up to speed and showing them things about the game? Or is it just natural for you to just lead by example? Like, what kind of leader are you? Are you one of those more vocal, or you like to lead by example?
So that's a great question. At first, I was example kind of leader for sure. Actually, I think I want to give credit to NDSU for helping me explore that vocal leadership. I was named captain of that 2021 season at NDSU, and I think that's when things kind of changed. My head coach, Coach Entz, and my position coach, Coach Noah Pauly, they told me, like, example leader, 100%. That's you. That's what I've been doing. But they're like, they want to get more out of me being a vocal leader. And that's when I started working on my, not just walking the walk, but talking the talk as well. Right. And that's when things kind of changed for me. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. I think there's always pressure, but pressure means that people are expecting a lot out of you, which is a good thing. Absolutely. And so I'm glad I have that pressure. But to me, it's not really pressure anymore. Maybe younger Phoenix, but me now, 6 years in, kind of more mentally clear on what I need to do. It's just really just another day. I get to do what I love for a 6 year. I get to help out these young guys. I'm still trying to learn the offense myself. I don't have it all under control, but I definitely have a good grasp of it. I've met with these freshmen. I met with this freshman receiver, I think once last week, and we'll probably meet again next week, but just helping him out. So they're already looking to me as that leader, which is coming off as a good thing. And you don't push yourself to be a leader. It has to be chosen. I think you can't just, you guys follow me. You can't be that kind of leader. It has to come naturally. It has to come from what you do. So like you said, just being an example kind of guy. Right. So it definitely made me feel really good that these young guys trust me already and coming to me for questions and stuff like that. And it just goes to show that I've been doing the right things. And honestly, I can't wait to go show what I can do this fall and pass down whatever knowledge I have.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited, man. Like, let me ask you this. What do you prefer though? Let's say, you got you going, your NFL team, you get drafted next season, right? Do you prefer how do you, let me see how I want to ask this. Like, what kind of leader do you prefer? Because obviously, let's say you go into the NFL, you're a rookie, you have to be looking in a direction to get some knowledge from one of the guys that are there already, right? One of the more veteran guys. Do you prefer a guy that's more vocal, or do you prefer a guy that's more like, you know, more conservative and just kind of leads by example? Like what pushes you? Because some people, they like the hype up and just the talking and kind of the drill sergeant type leader. They like that type of person. That's what helps them. And then you got guys that just like we have a player, I'm sure you know Harrison Smith to me, on our safety on our team. Like he's one of those lead by example guys. And then you might have a guy like, I'll have to say I feel like Ray Lewis. Yeah, there you go. That's better. Ray Lewis. And then you got like a Ray Lewis. So those two guys, like what's better for you? What helps you that you've realized just through your football career?
Definitely lead by example. I think nothing wrong. Like you said, nothing wrong with the rah-rah guys. But I think sometimes it comes off as a little bit of, you know, wanting that attention sometimes. Well, I could be completely wrong, and it's not for everyone. It's not everyone that's doing it, but I just feel like it's just a little bit kind of like, you have to follow me. Like I'm yelling at you. You have to listen. You have to blah, blah, blah. Right. I like to lead by example because that means, say you got a foot has to be behind the line. I'm putting my foot behind the line every single time, and I'm hoping the guys next to me are watching me, and they're doing this exact same thing. I don't got to say a single word. That's leadership right then and there. I might not even notice it, but it's happening. Right. So I love that lead by example leadership, and I think my first taste of that was at NDSU. We had a senior receiver named Darius Shepard, who was a decorated receiver at NDSU, played in the XFL recently, had a really good XFL season this year. And he showed me as a freshman, I was 18 years old. That man was, I want to say 21, maybe 22. And he would meet with me. He made me do mandatory notebook checks. He would look at my notebook to make sure I wrote down everything that was said for the meeting or for that game prep week. Since I was playing right away as a freshman, he would look at my notebook every week to make sure I had all the right things in there. And then the way how he practiced, the way how he played, I would just watch. I'd watch. He'd jog off the field. You would never catch him walking off the field. I'd see him jog off the field. I'm jogging off the field. I'd see him get catches off after the practice is over. 2-hour practice is over. He's getting probably, I don't know how many catches in on the jug machine, but he's doing catches off the jug machine. I'm doing catches off the jug machine. I'm just following in his footsteps. I think that's a really good way to learn, is to just copy the leader. Just.
And what was his name again? Shepard? Darius
Shepard. Yep. Played with the Packers for a little bit. Played with the bounced around practice squad, but I think he's on the Chargers right with Easton Stick. So Easton Stick was his quarterback at NDSU, and now they're back together in LA. So yeah, he's back in the NFL.
Shout out Darius Shepard, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to God, man. You know what I'm saying? Teaching our guy Phoenix some, just some really good skills that you probably carry on to this day, and that you're gonna spew on to these guys, like you said, that are your teammates now, the younger guys now. You can kind of take what you learned during that season from Darius, and you can now transfer that on, man, and let the legacy live on. Because that's what you need, man. And then that's what I say with the Vikings, man. Like I feel like we need a couple more leaders on our team, like specifically, right? The quarterback. All right. Yeah. We ain't going to get too deep on him, but I'm going to just say, like, I just feel like his leadership, his leadership to me just needs to be a little more like fiery. But, some people, they are who they are, right? Like some people it's just not them, and you're not going to force it out of them. You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel? Speaking of that, we can get off your position for a minute, man, just to pivot. How do you feel about Kirk Cousins? And first, who is your favorite NFL team? Like, you are a Vikings fan, right?
I am.
Okay, all right. We just got to get that out the way, man. We should have asked that first before we even started the interview.
Definitely a Vikings fan for sure.
All right, cool. So how do you feel about the state of the Vikings? You know what I mean? We'll give your career a break right now, man. You answer some great questions, man. Let's talk about the Vikings for a little bit, man. And how do you feel about Minnesota going into this season, man? What's your expectations? Just kind of give us a breakdown how you feeling about the whole team right now.
Yeah, this is Phoenix the fan time.
Phoenix the fan time, man.
Perfect. No, I think, they're in a good spot, but I think, what happens with Dalvin Cook definitely is going to affect a little. Dalvin was a big part of the offense.
Boy, that's my boy. You know what? Me and you, now we twinning, dog. I ain't gonna lie. Now we twinning, man. Tell your uncle again, man, so he can hear you, man. For the ones in the back, man, listen real close for the ones in the back.
Dalvin Cook is a huge part of the offense. I don't know what the situation is going on over there. I hope they can figure out a way to get him back on whatever. I don't know what's going on, but Dalvin is a big part. I know we lost one of the linebackers. Was it EJ? No, was it
Kendrick.
Hendricks?
Yeah, Kendrick. Yeah,
Yep,
EJ.
Hendricks. I know
Yeah,
he was a big part of our defense too. So it'll be interesting. But I know the new the new GM. I don't even know.
Quasi.
Quasi.
Yep, I know how to pronounce it. I know he's doing a good job with.
Learn that name because he's gonna be calling you.
And listen, you have reasons to not remember all these names and stuff because you're focused on, I mean, you're actually playing the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so like we don't expect you to damn know every other player like we do. We ain't got nothing better else to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm like, I think I know his name, but I don't know. But yeah, no, he's doing a great job so far. I think just like kind of getting the right people around the players to like, bring in different kind of players or whatever it may be. So I think the Vikings have a really good chance to do as good as what they did this past year, or even better. I think Kirk is a really good quarterback. I don't. He's not like your Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, but he is a good quarterback that can win games. He's proven to win games. I think it really comes down to the defense. I know we struggled a little bit.
Playoffs.
Yeah. That plays a big part too. So
what's your favorite? So what is your favorite type of quarterback though? Real quick, like if you can play for one quarterback in the NFL, exclude Patrick Mahomes, right? If you can play with one type of quarterback, like the skill set, who would you play with?
Besides Pat Mahomes, I think the only option you can say right now is I want to go with Josh Allen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like Josh Allen? You like how he kind of like so because this is gonna get into something else real quick. So is it do you like Josh Allen because of the off-scripted type plays where you can kind of as a wide receiver, when the play does break down, or is it a skill that you possess where you're able to, hey, the route's over, but now I can kind of just, jailbreak and Josh Allen to find you downfield or something like that? Is that what you like about his game? Or because he does run the ball a lot too.
He does. He's a gamer. I think his ability, he's a gunslinger. He could throw the ball from any part of the field, just like, excluding Pat Mahomes. But I feel like him and Pat Mahomes are kind of right there with that ability just to find. They're gonna throw the ball. They love throwing the ball. And as a receiver, that's what you want out your quarterback.
That's what you want, right?
And what he's done with Stephon Diggs and Gabriel and even Beasley last year, I think like just the way how he'll find you, like he's looking downfield. He's not looking for that short throw. He's gonna choose the longer throw almost every time. I've seen it every time. So I just like the way how he always takes shots. He's not afraid. He's not afraid to take shots.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's what's up, man. Like what? So are you big on watching college football as far as like all the rest of the landscape of, the Caleb Williams, the Jordan Travis, the quarterbacks that are coming into the draft this upcoming year, Bo Nix? Are you familiar with a lot of these guys, or are you kind of just more focused on what you got going on in your locker room?
No, yeah, I'm definitely familiar with those guys, but honestly, I watch more NFL ball than college ball, to be honest. I feel like even my 5 years at NDSU, like I always just like we would play our game on Saturday, and like I'm wiped. Like we're preparing all week, Monday through Saturday. I'm like I'm done with football so after Saturday. I'm done with football till Monday. So it's just like a nice little breather. But honestly, I'll watch NFL games on Sunday a little bit. Me and Trey used to watch those games. But yeah, no, college football, I feel like I haven't watched enough of it. But I'm gonna try to be better this year on it because I know, like you said, Caleb Williams. I heard he's the next Pat Mahomes, what they're comparing him to, and things like that. Yeah. So I want to see the hype. I want to see Bo Nix, all that.
And I asked you that because who.
Stop the cap.
I asked you that because who would you want? I mean, do you want the Vikings to look for a new quarterback coming into this draft, or are you okay with Kirk kind of extending it a couple more years, and you think we'll be all right, like having Kirk Cousins for 2-3 more years, or should we go a different direction?
I think we need to draft a quarterback. I think this draft, because of the younger quarterbacks are moving in right now.
And let me get this straight before you continue, Phoenix. Not just any quarterback, because we drafted a quarterback this year. Right. We drafted, Jaron Hall, right? Not just when you say I think we need to draft a quarterback this year, do you mean like first round, like get a quarterback in the first round? That's where we're at, right?
I think it is. I think that's where we're at. First round. I don't know who's the last quarterback we drafted in the first round. I don't remember.
Teddy Bridgewater was it? Yeah, Teddy. Was it Teddy Bridgewater? I believe. Yeah.
So it's definitely time. Kirk is a great quarterback, but his clock is ticking. And then, like I said, like you want to get a new guy in to learn the system right away. So when Kirk is done, he's next man up. He's ready to go. So I think now would be a perfect time for who's out there. I know the Vikings never get that first pick because they've been doing pretty good in the season. So
yeah, we're consistent. Yeah, we are. That's one thing about the Vikings, man. Like we're always gonna win enough games to keep our fans kind of like, we always like in the talks for the playoffs every single year for the most part. You know what I mean? And that's a good thing to be a fan of a team. Like it's almost like, damn, you want to win it all, but at least we never have those seasons where we're winning 3 games and going, 3-13 and shit like that. So it's like, at least we know we're going to win at least 7 at the minimum. You know what I mean? At least half the season.
If we don't win 7, it's a bad year. It's a really bad year.
You know what I mean? We're going to win at least half the games.
So people think I'm off of my rocker because I want to trade the Panthers for Matt Corral, draft a quarterback next year, have Matt Corral, Jaron Hall, and whatever quarterback we draft next year to compete to earn that starting position.
Hey, so Phoenix can tell us, man, coming from, you're in a situation right now where, guys are competing, what I mean? Is that, like when you're on the team, with other guys and y'all all kind of are competing. Cause I'm sure you have a guy that's, on the field with you when you go in 2 weeks, that's like, hey, I'm number 1, bro. Like shit, like I'm about to be number 1, and you're going into it like shit. You tripping, bro? Like yeah, we teammates, but I'm number 1. Who's you playing with, dog? Like I'm him. You know what I mean? Like, is it good? Is it good for the culture to have that kind of just? Obviously, being competitive is always good, and we're men, and men are naturally competitive. But like, is it good to bring in too many guys though to be sitting there bumping heads? Is there ever tension or kind of situations where it's like, you feel like you kind of relationships kind of get, a little sticky because of the fact that you guys are so competitive and, everybody wants to be that guy. You know what I mean? Does that happen often in the locker rooms and stuff?
So the competition part happens almost every day. Like every day is a competition, weight room, summer workouts, conditioning, speed work, and then just regular football stuff, like just practice and things like that. So it's always competition, like you said. And at NDSU, after Easton State graduated, we had 5 quarterbacks. So they were all competing for that starting spot. So it was Trey, Zeb Nolan, who transferred from Iowa State, Zeb Nolan, Noah Sanders. I can't remember the other guy's name. There's 2 other quarterbacks, and they were all battling for the first QB spot. And they were best friends off the field. Like it was no hard feelings, no beef or anything like that, because they knew it was a job. Like the best person that will be for the team will win the job. At the end of the day, we understand as players, like you want the best guy to play, because at the end of the day, it's about winning games, winning ball games. So like how I see it, like you said, like I'm going up against these younger guys every day, and they're not like, oh, you're the older guy, you go ahead, like you're the start. Like, nah, them dudes are coming every day.
right. And it helps you though. I'm sure it benefits you. It pushes you. You know what I mean?
100%. Because I see this dude run even in speed drill, we had speed drills on Thursday or whatever day it was. This dude hit 22 miles per hour. I was at 21 that day. I'm like, yeah, I gotta run faster. Like, let's run that back. Like, let's run that back. Let's go again. So it's just stuff like that. It makes you better, makes you go harder for sure. And at the end of the day, the best guy is gonna win. And at the end of the day, it's gonna help the team further in the long run. So it'll definitely hurt those players that obviously don't get that spot. But at the end of the day, it's all love, and it is a business. As much as it's all fun and games, it is a business at the end of the day. And obviously the NFL it's a bigger business because guys get cut for that stuff. So it's unfortunate, but it's just the way sports are.
But you have situations too, I'm sure, where maybe the best guy didn't get the job, right? And it's like the coach made a decision of, hey, you might be better, but I like this guy a little better, in my opinion. Kind of like how we're rating these wide receivers tonight. You know what I mean? Like if we were to say, hey, who's going to start for me, who I might have be my wide receiver 1, your wide receiver 1 might be different. Yogi's wide receiver 1 might be different. Like, have you ever been in a position where you felt like, and I think you pretty much started after your freshman year, like special teams and stuff like that, right? And then, so I mean, you really didn't have to go through it, but maybe you seen another kid that you're like, damn, this dude fire, bro. Like, it's crazy that he ain't starting over maybe our wide receiver 3. Like, he should at least be wide receiver 3. Like, this dude is savage, and he's better, but there's just something else. Maybe it's just veteran where a guy say, hey, you've been with the team longer, so you're going to be the starter. Because I feel like in the NFL, they do that sometimes. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times it'll be about a name sometimes too. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, your name's just bigger, so you're going to start over the guy that's actually better than you behind you. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it doesn't happen all the time, because you guys put in work, and usually you put in work, and if you're better, you're most likely going to get the job. But there is certain cases, I'm sure, where it's like, hey, the better guy's kind of sitting back while there's just something else that plays a factor on why he's not starting. Have you ran into that situation with any younger guys throughout your football career so far?
Yeah, actually, I definitely have. I want to say it was my either second or third. It was my third year, so my third time playing season, whatever. I want to say 2021. It was me and Christian as the 2 starting receivers, and then we had a bunch of young guys, talented young guys. And being completely honest, there was guys that could move a little bit better than me,
right?
But I was more consistent and knew my job better. So I was more of we're safer with him as being a starter because he knows what he's doing. He knows the plays. He knows the formation. He knows how to get the job done. But granted, I probably wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest, but I did my job a little bit better. And that's why I continue to start those continuous years. And in the NFL, it's the same thing. Like, you can go with, let me think of a receiver right now. The Packers. Who was it was Christian Watson, Alan Lazard, and what's
Dobbs,
that?
Right? Did they have Dobbs?
Dobbs or the old guy. Jeez, what's his name?
Yeah. Damn. Cobb. There you go. Yep.
Cobb was a player that I bet you there's some younger guys that were better than him for sure. Like, dude's old. But guess what, though? Cobb's consistent. He catches the ball. He doesn't drop. Aaron knows where he's going to be at. He's going to get open. He's going to run the route that he's supposed to run. And that's why he played a lot. Year, 34, 30. I don't know how old dude is. Yeah.
That makes sense. So it just, I mean, your point
he's
proven
34, is he's old.
He's like me. Your point proven to where a lot of times, like, athletic ability, all of you guys are athletic. You wouldn't be in the position you're in if you weren't athletic. You know what I mean? So, but a lot of times, like you're saying, that you're just shedding light on. A lot of times it isn't about your being faster, being stronger. Sometimes it's more about just the consistency and knowing your job, because you got a lot of guys that, they have the athletic ability, but when it comes to knowing formations and stuff, they don't know anything. You know what I mean? And it's weird because, speaking of your friend Trey, man, they were kind of saying that, because I kind of follow 49ers media a little bit because I just want to see what they're talking about. Because, like, again, I told you I'm a fan of Trey Lance, and they'll say things like that about him, like, oh, reason why he's not doing so well because in camp and stuff, because he doesn't understand the formations and stuff. And then I hear what you tell us about how, hey, when we were in college together, like, this dude was studying hard, like, so it's kind of like, and I believe you. Now that we've had this conversation, you were actually there with him. You guys were roommates, from what I heard in one of your interviews that you did in the past. You guys were actually roommates in college. So, you're spending damn near every day with this guy. You know what I mean? So you know more than anybody. You know what I mean? Like, doing what these other guys are talking about. So now that I hear that, it's like, man, I still want Trey Lance. Like, I'm okay. If the 49ers don't want, let us get him, man. Because from what I'm hearing, man, the boy's a dog, man.
I could talk about that man forever. I don't think people understand how much pressure you have as a quarterback at NDSU. Like, the winning culture, the dynasty, it's a dynasty at North Dakota State, and the quarterback is for all teams, the quarterback's the most important position.
Right.
But at NDSU, like, we were known for quarterbacks, Carson Wentz, Easton Stick, guys that were just dominant for so many years in that program, and just to have that put onto 19-year-olds back to start the first game and to continue that dynasty, I don't think people give him enough credit for what he did, and did it at a high level. He went 16-0, played 16 games, went 16-0, won the Jerry Rice Award for the best offensive player in the FCS his first year starting. Like, it's just crazy because they don't see the work that he put in outside. Like, me and him went to the field at random times during the day just to go over formations again for the third time that day. Dude bought me a whiteboard. He gave me his whiteboard so I could write plays up on my own. He had an iPad. He had a separate iPad that was just for football. That was all just notes. He had a stack of binders that was just all game notes from previous years, not even his, from other quarterbacks from NDSU that they used for that team from whatever year we played them in. So it's just, I wish people knew that about him and the way that he works. Like, I don't want ever, when people say like, yeah, he doesn't know the offense, this, that, he knows the offense. It's
Right.
not, it has nothing to do with that.
Right.
There might be other things that go into it, but I know for a fact, I know Trey, I know he's learning those offense like the back of his hand. So
shout out Trey, man. I gotta say, man, before we get up out of here, I know your uncle got another show that's about to get live now, man. And again, I just want to thank you for the night. You got any more questions for your nephew, man? I know you can just pick up the phone, Yogi, and just call it, hey nephew, what's going on with this situation right over here? I bet.
I would say my last question, if you were sitting in a room as 9th grade Phoenix Sproles, about to start football for the first time, and you were to come in and give advice to the player about to start football, what advice would you want to give them to help them with that transition from high school to college and the mentality to take from preparation from going from now to your next level?
yeah.
What advice would you give?
Great question, man.
Man, I could write a book on the advice I give myself from my younger self. But nah, if I just go back and just tell myself, to prepare me for the next years of my life, I'd just tell myself to have fun with it. Don't be so caught up in the moment. Like, you want to enjoy, college football doesn't last forever. High school football went by like that. Like, you want to enjoy every single moment of it. I'd say definitely, I didn't take, as a high school kid, you're not thinking about taking care of your body. Like, you're young, you're feeling good. I'd say definitely taking care of my body more, stretching, warming up. I don't even remember warming up before any type of high school games or anything like that. Like, you could
just go out there and play.
Yeah, you go out there and start playing. Like, I would take way more care of my body, stretching, being more focused, more dialed in, and honestly, just appreciating the game. Like, there's, you can play this game for so long, and like I said, I've been blessed to be able to do this for a 6th year, which is crazy. But I'd just say just take every moment and hold on to every moment that you have, because it goes by fast. And all the guys that, the team from my high school that don't play football anymore, they're always hitting me up and they're kind of living through me and our football dreams together, because for whatever reason it didn't work out for them. So, I'm just they're living through me. So I'm just trying to make it for all of us, man. We all had NFL dreams, and I was blessed to be put in the position with, my stepdad playing for the Vikings, being my head football coach for 3rd grade to senior year of high school. Like, I really was put in the position to be where I'm at now. And I know a lot of kids didn't have that opportunity. So, I definitely don't take it for granted. I'm just glad that I am where I'm at. And I just tell young Phoenix, you're going to be blessed with a lot of blessings. Don't take it for granted, and just go shoot for the stars, man.
Man, amen to that, man.
Love
You know
it.
what I'm saying? Amen to that. That was great, man. And I just got one more quick question. This is a quick answer, too. One more quick. How many games are the Vikings going to win this year, man?
They're going to win. Are they playing 16 or 17 this year?
17.
17? 15.
Let's go. All right, man. Real quick, man. 30 seconds, man. We're going to give y'all 30 seconds to drop hashtag Phoenix in the comments, man. Drop hashtag Phoenix in the comments. Let's see. How many entries do we got so far? Man, y'all got to drop some more hashtag Phoenix in the comments. Y'all tripping. But we about to do August 5th. Going to be the drawing, man, for a chance to win tickets to come kick it with me, Yogi, Skull Mafia, everybody, man. We're going to be at the game, man. We also have an event, man, Skull Fest. So, and we're giving away tickets at Skull Fest as well, man. We confirmed that. So make sure y'all drop, man. You got the flyer, Yogi? Will it mess up the format if you bring it up on the screen or no?
Let's see. Give me a second.
Yeah, real quick, man. While he's doing that, man, because we gotta get up out of here, man. We don't want to hold Phoenix up no more. He gotta go hit the books, man. You know what I mean? My boy gotta go study, man. It's almost time. Hey, I do gotta say this too while your unc doing that, man. I was playing Madden this morning, man, and I actually played the 49ers. I did make Trey Lance fumble 4 times, man. Tell him that when you talk to him. All right, tell him that. Tell him they kept running on Madden. For some reason, CPU kept running Trey Lance with the RPO, and I kept using that the RB.
That's
you know,
that's me. Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, man. I was punching it out, man. Tell him he need to work on that on Madden, man.
That's Hey, he got to talk to the Madden producer. They got to get his walking on that, man.
Nah, but you know what? Like, boy is a savage on Madden for real though. When you play it on all Madden, like that boy there, man, he's sickening, man. You know what I mean, in a good way. He's sick.
Just wait on him. Just wait on.
So, man, drop #Phoenix, man. #Phoenix, man. Hey, listen, I gotta say, man, real talk. This was probably one of my best videos that I've been a part of, man. Obviously, I've only had 2 interviews with players. You're the second player that I've ever interviewed. So, you know, man, shout out to you, man. And it's been a blessing having you on, man. It means a lot that you took your time out tonight and sat on here damn near 2 hours with us, man. You know what I mean? Like, knowing that you about to get locked in and you about to get into that zone. And you know, I know at that point in time, you're not really going to be looking to get on no internet or nothing. It's just lock-in mode and, you know, you on the field, man. And we're going to be praying for you the whole time. I know I am, man. Me and my family definitely going to be praying for you and just supporting you, man. You know what I mean? Definitely supporting you. And you'll definitely have a video on my channel as the season's kicking off and you putting up the numbers, man, of me giving you your flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? For sure, man. Because we want to see you in purple, man. Stay in purple. I mean, it look good on you. You know what I'm saying? It look good on you, bro. That green and yellow. Hey, listen, I know NDSU, your school, but that green and yellow garbage, man, hey, you know what I mean? Don't go back to that, man. Trash.
I love purple. I love purple. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You look way better in purple and gold, man. I'm just saying. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? But man, here's the flyer, man. You know what I mean? We got Skull Fest 2023. This is the first annual one that we're starting, man. And we're going to do this every single year from now on, man. Y'all make sure y'all there. Drop #Phoenix, man. We're going to do this drawing so Yogi can go set up for his other show here. Let me see, man. If I pull it up, it probably going to mess this up, right, Yogi? But oh, well, let's just see what it does here. Let's just pull it up so we can get this thing pop. And let's see.
Pick a number between 1 and 6, Phoenix.
3.
Boom. Run it 3 times.
All right, let's get it, man. We're going to do the first one, man. Let's see who's number 1. We got Scourger Soup in the building, man. Scourger Soup with a chance, man. Scourger Soup, you just won yourself a chance to win week 1 game tickets, man. You already know August 5th. Make sure you in the building, you know what I'm saying? Because we're doing a drawing, man. And we're gonna get to it, man. Hopefully we get to meet you in Minnesota because it's gonna be lit. You ain't gonna miss it. All right, let's do it again. I see the JJ. I see the JJ avatar. Eric, my boy from New Mexico, man. Eric and Florinda, my bad. It's Florinda. Yeah, my bad. Eric, man, we got Eric with the win, man. Let's get it, man. All right, we got one more, man. Let's see who we got. We got one more. We got Patrick. I feel like Patrick went last week too, so that's good. Now I think you went there twice, Patrick. You got a good chance. You got a good chance to come kick it with the boys, man. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, shout out Patrick, shout out Eric, and shout out who was the first one again? Scourger Soup, man. Shout out Scourger Soup, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all always support us. You know what I mean? And we love y'all to death, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow Phoenix Sproles this season in college football, man, playing for James Madison University, man. He on the best coast now. He'll never go back to the Midwest. He an East Coast boy like me now, you know what I mean? Like we locked in now, man. You know what I'm saying? Once you come east, man, you never go back. You know, it don't rhyme, but it makes the most sense. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? But hey, we appreciate you again, Phoenix, man. You know what I mean? And hey, hopefully we get to do this again, in the off season next season, and we're talking about you you know, what you're doing to prepare for the draft and things like that. And I know it's coming, and we'll have great conversations next season, man. I had to do some more homework for this season, man. Give me some work to do, man. Give me some work to do.
I got you, man.
Put me and your uncle to work, man. For sure.
Purple gang, baby.
I can do that. No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. All right, man. We love y'all. Holla at your boys.
All right.